Listen to me, there's a reason you feel restless when you waste your time. Deep inside, you know you were born for more. You can pretend you're fine, but at night, when the world is quiet, you hear that voice telling you you're not doing enough. That's not weakness. That's the truth knocking at your door. Life doesn't slow down for you. Opportunities don't wait. The clock isn't your friend, it's your competition. And right now, every second you're distracted, someone else is training, building, pushing forward while you're standing still. Locking in means cutting the noise, ignoring the drama, and doing the work no one sees but everyone will one day respect. You don't need permission, you don't need motivation every day, you need discipline. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not when it's convenient. Now, the question is, will you look back and regret the years you let slip, or will you lock in today and own your future? Discipline is the backbone of every great achievement. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation dies, when your body aches, when your mind screams for comfort. Motivation is a feeling. It comes and goes like the weather. Discipline is a choice, a habit you build brick by brick until it becomes unshakable. The problem is, too many people rely on motivation like it's a magic switch. They wait until they feel like it before they move. That's why they stay stuck. The people who win aren't the ones who always feel motivated. They're the ones who take action regardless of how they feel. You can't afford to live at the mercy of your emotions. There will be days when you wake up tired, when you're stressed, when life throws something heavy on your shoulders. In those moments, motivation disappears. That's when discipline steps in. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. Discipline doesn't care if you're in the mood. It tells you we're doing this anyway. Discipline means you show up to train when it's raining, when you're sore, when everyone else is staying comfortable. Discipline means you eat clean when the easy option is to grab fast food. Discipline means you keep your promises to yourself. Understand this. Your mind is always negotiating with you, trying to find the shortcut, trying to convince you that skipping one day won't hurt. That voice will tell you to start tomorrow, to relax, to enjoy yourself just a little more, but discipline shuts that voice down. Discipline is the part of you that says, we don't skip, we don't break, we don't go backward. Discipline is the reason champions train in the dark, unseen, uncelebrated, while everyone else is chasing cheap dopamine. When you commit to discipline, you're building something far more powerful than motivation. You're building trust with yourself. Every time you say you'll do something and actually do it, you prove to yourself that your words mean something. And when you start believing your own words, your confidence skyrockets. People think confidence comes from hype and self-affirmations. It doesn't. Real confidence is built from discipline because you know you can count on yourself when it matters. Think about the most successful athletes, entrepreneurs, fighters, leaders. They're not working because they're inspired every day. They're working because they've trained themselves to do the hard thing without hesitation. They've conditioned their mind and body to perform on command, not on feeling. That's why they're consistent, and consistency beats everything. Talent without discipline is wasted potential. Ideas without discipline are just dreams. Discipline also frees you. People think it's restrictive, but the truth is the opposite. When you're disciplined, you don't waste time deciding whether or not you'll do the work. You just do it. That mental clarity removes decision fatigue. It saves your energy for the battles that matter. And as the years pass, discipline compounds while motivation fizzles out and burns people out. Discipline keeps building strength, skill, and results. If you only work when you're motivated, you'll never rise above average. Average people wait for the right mood, the right time, the perfect circumstances. But the truth is, the right time is never coming. Winners act now, not later. Winners understand that the work itself creates the feeling, not the other way around. You don't wait to feel ready. You work, and the readiness comes as a byproduct. That's the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. Cutting distractions without apology is one of the most brutal but necessary moves you will ever make if you're serious about winning. Most people think their problem is a lack of opportunity or resources, but in reality, their biggest enemy is the endless stream of noise they allow into their life. Every notification, every pointless conversation, every hour spent scrolling through nonsense is a thief that steals your focus, your energy, and your future. Distractions are not harmless, they are silent killers of dreams. They don't strike in one big moment. They eat you alive in tiny bites until years have passed and you're left wondering where all your time went. The truth is, every second you give to distractions is a second you will never get back. Time is your most valuable asset, yet people guard their money more fiercely than their time. You wouldn't hand over your paycheck to a stranger, but you hand over your hours every day to meaningless things that give you nothing in return. If you're serious about your goals, you have to become ruthless about where your attention goes. That means cutting out habits, activities, and even people who drain you instead of fueling you. And yes, that will upset some people. Some will call you selfish. Some will say you've changed. That's because they benefit from your lack of focus. They're comfortable with you being average because it makes them feel better about staying average themselves. You cannot reach an elite level while surrounding yourself with constant noise. You need an environment that works for you, not against you. That might mean deleting apps, turning off your phone for hours at a time, saying no to social events, or distancing yourself from people who are addicted to wasting time. The moment you start protecting your focus, she shares less, you'll realize how much mental space you've been giving away for free. That space is where your best ideas, your deepest work, and your sharpest thinking come from. But you can't access any of it if your attention is scattered across 100 meaningless things. People underestimate how dangerous distractions are because they come disguised as harmless entertainment or socializing. A few minutes here, a few minutes there. It feels small, but it adds up to hours, days, months of lost potential. While you're distracted, someone else is locked in, putting in the reps, stacking up small wins that will turn into massive advantages later. This is why winners seem unstoppable. They're simply not bleeding away their time like everyone else. Cutting distractions is also about self-respect. If you say your goals matter, but you let trivial things pull you away from them, you're lying to yourself. The gap between what you say you want and what you actually do is measured in how easily you let distractions win. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you strengthen your discipline, sharpen your skills, and move closer to the life you want. Every time you give in, you reinforce the habit of delay, the habit of weakness. There's a reason the most driven people guard their time like it's life or death, because it is. Time is life, and every distraction is a piece of your life you will never get back. When you truly understand that, you stop apologizing for cutting people off, for ignoring pointless messages, for protecting your work time like it's sacred. Because it is. Small daily wins are the foundation of unstoppable momentum. Too many people get obsessed with giant leaps and dramatic breakthroughs, but they underestimate the power of consistent, disciplined progress. The truth is, success is rarely built in explosive bursts. It's built in quiet, repetitive actions that stack over time. One workout won't transform your body. One book won't make you an expert. One day of work won't create a legacy. But repeat those actions day after day, and you will become something people can't ignore. The problem is, most people want instant gratification. They do the work for a week, maybe two, and when they don't see massive changes, they quit. What they fail to realize is that big results are just small wins layered over each other until the compound effect kicks in. Imagine a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, almost unimpressive, but as it keeps moving, it gathers more snow, more weight, more force until it becomes unstoppable. That's exactly how small daily wins work. Momentum is your greatest ally. Once you have it, the game changes. But momentum doesn't come from occasional effort. It comes from showing up relentlessly, even on the days you don't feel like it. Every completed task, every hour of focused work, every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're adding fuel to that momentum. And once it starts to build, it becomes harder to stop than to keep going. That's when you separate yourself from the crowd, when consistency becomes second nature. Small wins are also psychological weapons. Each one is a signal to your brain that you are capable, that you keep your word, that you can trust yourself. And that trust builds confidence, not the fake confidence that comes from talking big, but the deep, unshakable confidence that comes from proof. Every day, you follow through. You're stacking evidence that you are who you say you are. This is why successful people seem so certain. They have years of proof behind them. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about choosing key actions and executing them every single day, no matter what. That could be writing one page, making 10 sales calls, reading for 30 minutes, doing one more set in the gym. Alone, these actions might seem small, but multiplied over months and years, they will transform your life. This is why discipline and patience go hand in hand. You have to be willing to work without the immediate reward, trusting that the payoff will come. The other reason small daily wins matter is because they create a rhythm. That rhythm becomes your lifestyle. And once something becomes part of your lifestyle, it stops being a struggle, it's simply who you are. The mistake people make is thinking they need to overhaul their entire life in one go. That approach burns out quickly. But if you commit to stacking small wins, you'll look up one day and realize you're miles ahead of where you started, without even noticing how far you've come. What most people call luck is often just the result of years of accumulated small wins finally reaching a tipping point. Opportunities appear because you've been preparing every single day, laying the groundwork, building the skills, sharpening the mindset. The world rewards the person who's been ready long before the moment arrives, and readiness isn't built in a day. It's built in the quiet discipline of stacking win after win after win. Surrounding yourself with people who push you instead of pulling you down is one of the most decisive factors in how far you'll go. Energy is contagious, and whether you like it or not, the people around you are constantly influencing your mindset, your habits, and your standards. If you spend your time with those who are lazy, unmotivated, and content with mediocrity, it's only a matter of time before you start mirroring them. You may not notice it immediately, but slowly your drive will weaken, your goals will seem less urgent, and your standards will drop to match the room you're in. The opposite is also true. When you're surrounded by people who are ambitious, disciplined, and hungry for more, you're forced to level up just to keep pace. These kinds of people make you uncomfortable in the best way possible. They don't let you settle. They won't let you make excuses. They will challenge you, call you out, and expect you to match their effort. And that's exactly what you need if you want to grow. It's not just about having supportive people, it's about having people who set the bar high. Support without standards creates complacency. You need allies who believe in you but also demand results. The kind of people who celebrate your wins but aren't impressed by them for long because they know you can do more. The kind of people who don't let you hide in comfort zones. Many people fail because they try to carry dead weight. They hold on to friendships or relationships that keep them stuck, either out of loyalty or fear of being alone. But staying in a circle that doesn't push you is the same as putting a ceiling over your own potential. The reality is, if the people around you aren't making you better, they're making you worse. There's no neutral influence. Every conversation, every interaction is either feeding your growth or draining it. You have to be ruthless about your environment. That means cutting off people who are toxic, who constantly complain, who discourage your ambition, or who make excuses for why something can't be done. It doesn't matter how long you've known them or what history you share. If their presence holds you back, you have to distance yourself. That space you create, will give room for better connections to enter. This also means seeking out environments where excellence is the norm. Join groups, teams, or communities where you're the least experienced person in the room, where you feel slightly behind, where the expectations are higher than what you've been holding yourself to. Being the smallest fish in a tank of sharks will force you to swim faster, harder, and smarter. It will stretch you beyond what you thought you were capable of. The truth is, you can't outwork a toxic circle. You can be disciplined, focused, and motivated, but if you're surrounded by the wrong influences, they will slowly erode everything you're building. Your environment is like soil, no matter how good the seed. If the soil is poor, the growth will be stunted. Choose fertile ground, choose people who challenge your excuses, sharpen your thinking, and expect nothing less than your best. The people you keep close are either the wind in your sails or the anchor holding you down. Embracing discomfort is the gateway to real growth. Most people spend their entire lives running from anything that feels hard, awkward, or painful. And in doing so, they rob themselves of the very experiences that would make them stronger. Discomfort is not the enemy. It's the signal that you are stepping beyond the limits of who you currently are. The problem is, society has trained people to chase comfort at all costs. Comfort in routines, comfort in predictable outcomes, comfort in staying exactly the same year after year. But comfort zones are like cages. The walls might feel safe, but they're keeping you from everything you're capable of. When you willingly step into discomfort, you're telling yourself that growth matters more than ease. Whether it's physical pain from training, mental strain from learning a new skill, or the fear of taking a risk, leaning into those moments rewires your mind. It teaches you that you can endure, adapt, and overcome. The more you expose yourself to controlled discomfort, the less intimidating challenges become. What used to feel overwhelming becomes manageable. What used to scare you becomes normal. Every meaningful accomplishment requires passing through a stage of discomfort. Building a strong body means enduring the burn of a workout and the discipline of eating clean. Building a successful business means facing rejection, uncertainty, and long hours with no guarantee of reward. Building confidence means putting yourself in situations where you could fail, be judged, or be embarrassed. These aren't obstacles, they are the price of admission for the life you want. The irony is that avoiding discomfort doesn't protect you, it weakens you. The more you avoid it, the smaller your tolerance for challenge becomes. Soon, even small inconveniences feel overwhelming. People who hide from discomfort shrink their capacity to handle life. On the other hand, those who regularly seek discomfort expand their capacity until almost nothing can shake them. Embracing discomfort is also the fastest way to separate yourself from the majority. Most people quit the moment things get hard. If you can keep going when others stop, you automatically rise above the crowd. You don't have to be the most talented, the most gifted, or the most experienced, just the one who refuses to give up when it's painful. Pain is the filter that weeds out the average from the exceptional. The truth is, discomfort is temporary, but the growth it creates is permanent. Every hard thing you endure becomes a part of you, the lessons, the resilience, the strength, they stay. And the next time you face something difficult, you carry that history with you. You remember that you've been here before, that you've survived worse, that the discomfort will pass. This is how you build unshakable confidence, not by avoiding pain, but by proving to yourself that you can handle it. Instead of asking how to make life easier, start asking how to make yourself stronger. Seek the workouts that test you. Take on projects that feel overwhelming. Have the conversations that make your voice shake. Put yourself in situations where you're not in control, where you might fail, where you feel completely out of your depth. Every time you do, you're training for the bigger battles ahead. The more you practice embracing discomfort, the more natural it becomes, until one day you realize that what once terrified you now excites you. Acting with urgency is the difference between those who talk about what they want and those who actually get it. Too many people live as if they have unlimited time, as if tomorrow is guaranteed, as if opportunities will wait patiently for them to be ready. That mindset is the reason most dreams die before they even get started. The truth is, time is the most valuable currency you will ever have, and it's slipping away every second. You can earn money back, you can rebuild a business, you can recover from mistakes, but you will never get back the hours, days, and years you waste by moving slowly when you should be moving now. Urgency doesn't mean rushing without thinking. It means recognizing that every moment matters and treating it like it does. It means refusing to sit on ideas, refusing to postpone action, and refusing to let fear or doubt stall you. The longer you wait to start, the more momentum you lose and the more chances you let pass to someone else who is willing to move first. Opportunities rarely announce themselves twice. If you don't grab them, someone else will. When you operate with urgency, you stop living in someday. You stop telling yourself that you'll chase your goals when the timing is perfect, when you have more money, when you feel more prepared. You understand that perfection never comes, that waiting for the right conditions is just procrastination dressed up as logic. Urgency forces you to work with what you have, to start with imperfect tools, to move forward even when the path isn't completely clear. This mindset also changes how you approach each day. You stop coasting through hours and start attacking them. Every decision is weighed against your bigger vision. Will this move me forward, or is it just wasting time? Urgency pushes you to cut the meaningless and focus on the actions that will actually bring results. You stop tolerating long stretches of unproductive drift because you feel the weight of every passing minute. People who lack urgency often underestimate how quickly life can change. One unexpected event, one missed opportunity, one decision to wait instead of act can alter the course of your future. Those who understand urgency live with a constant awareness that time is running out, not in a panicked way, but in a driven way. That awareness fuels consistency. It eliminates the luxury of laziness. It forces you to stop putting things off, to stop waiting for inspiration, to stop letting another day slip into the past without progress. Acting with urgency also raises your standards. You stop being comfortable with average effort because you realize you don't have time to waste on mediocrity. You move faster, but with purpose. You say yes to challenges that scare you. You make decisions instead of endlessly overthinking them. You get comfortable making adjustments on the fly instead of stalling for perfect plans. And as you operate this way day after day, you start to see results that compound at a pace most people will never experience, simply because you refuse to hesitate. The reality is, urgency isn't about panic. It's about clarity. It's knowing that your window of opportunity is open right now, and that every second you hesitate is a second closer to it closing. It's about living like your goals have deadlines, like the work must be done now, not eventually. The people who win aren't always the most skilled or the most connected. They're the ones who understood that time was their most precious resource and acted like it.